Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. I've got a lot of great stuff to show you today, including all these vault key holders, some custom Tony the Ants, this long wallet in the center here, a bunch of custom Johnny the Foxes, English tan Dublin belt, got some fat Herbies, some Bugs Moran, some Frank the Enforcer, and even a machine gun jack. And then at the very end, I've got a special surprise for you. But let's start off today by showing you this really cool Shell Cordovan long wallet. And this is a custom order from our shop. We don't currently offer this as a standard item on the website, but it is definitely awesome. Check out the leather on the outside here. This is raw Shell Cordovan. This is the lightest color of Shell Cordovan that you can get. And it's also very matte and finish. It's a little bit dull, which I love. And actually it was a dream of mine to have this leather for about 10 years because I wanted something that would have the most potential to develop a dramatic patina. And that's what the raw Shell Cordovan here is all about. Check out the inside though. On the interior here, we have a color 8 reverse interior. And I think all the random dye marks and the different patterns and even the inclusion of the Horween ink stamp perfectly cut into the center there, I think makes this long wallet super cool. So these are made to order only. If you're into one of these, definitely let me know. I can pretty much make it in every leather with the exception of the interiors. And on the interiors, we have to have either color 8 or black or the reverse of either of those colors. And that's because I have to have naturally thin pieces of shell for the inside. So I figured today we would start big and shrink our way down to smaller items. This is a natural Shell Cordovan fat Herbie. And take a look at this really nice piece of natural shell on the outside of this fat Herbie. On the inside, there's also a really nice shell with a Horween ink stamp right in the center. And we have an English tan Dublin fat Herbie. These are the two fat Herbies going out today. I'm trying to show most everything that we're shipping in everyday's videos. If there's duplicates of things, I don't include them. But there's a few fat Herbies going out, and I just love this English tan Dublin leather. And here I have 4 different Tony the Ants to show you. And the Tony the Ant is just like the fat Herbie, but sort of shrunk down. It's the same aesthetic, where the exterior of the wallet has this little notch for the bill slot here. It makes it really easy to get cash in and out of. People really liked that aesthetic on the fat Herbie, so we shrunk down the form factor to make this Tony the Ant. It's pretty much the same concept with the same curves and everything. It's just a little bit more compact. Let's take a look at the leather on this one. On the exterior of this wallet, it's a really beautiful piece of whiskey shell Cordovan on what looks to be color 8 marbled shell on this middle piece. It might be a little difficult to see the lightness in that, but it's a really nice range of color. It's like a darker red cherry with some orangey undertones popping out. On the interior of this one, check this out. We got something of everything here. On the left, that's color 8 reverse shell Cordovan with the reddish brown dye marks. On top of it, what looks like it might be a natural reverse. And the center here, this is interesting. This is the reverse side of the color 8 marbled piece that we see right here. It's actually a little bit green, which I don't often see. And on the right, we have some color 8 marbled shell Cordovan. You got a little bit of everything on this Tony. And let's take a look at this one. This is another Tony the Ant in whiskey shell Cordovan, but this is a double reverse. So we have whiskey shell Cordovan on top of reverse whiskey on the outside. And then the interior, you get a little bit of both again. We have the reverse card slots and the whiskey in the center. That's a really cool Tony the Ant. And there's another one here in English tan Dublin. This is my favorite non-shell Cordovan color and leather. I love the natural character in the English tan Dublin. Just check that out. That's super cool. That natural texture in there. And even on this, so I'm doing a 4K video here, and I think you can see the grain character a little bit better that I've been talking about. Not only do we have these sort of horizontal striations in the leather, but if you look very, very closely, you can see all the little detail in the grain. I think that is really, really cool. And the last Tony the Ant to show you, this is natural Chrome Excel, the most popular Chrome Excel color. I love this deep sort of ivory shade. And the Chrome Excel is a pull-up leather, so when you flex the leather, like you see on the spine here, we reveal a little bit of these lighter undertones of color. It's much lighter than the surface. It's got a nice depth of color, more natural Chrome Excel on the interior. And the next step down in size from the Tony the Ant, this is the Bugs Moran. It's the same idea as the Tony the Ant, but without the exterior bill slot. And we shrunk down the size just a tiny bit to make it a little bit more compact. So take a look at this. It's just perfectly handheld. This one is in color 8 marbled shell Cordovan. On the outside, we've got that really great brown, orangey, red colors. Now, all the little range of color, I think, is what makes the marbled shell very special. This one's been personalized for ADR. On the inside, more marbled color 8 shell Cordovan. Super nice. And here's another Dublin wallet. This is black Dublin. We get that same incredible grain character, and I'll give you a close-up of this one as well. Take a look at all that great natural character. You don't see that in basically any black leather. I challenge you to find one with this much interest in the grain itself. It's very hard to find black leathers that have any amount of character, because a lot of tanneries really like to fill in all this bit of grain and just cover it in paint. So the Dublin is very much a naturally finished leather. I just love the grain character in it. And the last Bugs Moran to show you today, check this one out. Really beautiful piece of dark green shell Cordovan on the back of this. We don't see a lot of dark green shell Cordovan, so this is really special to see. On the interior, we have a reverse green interior as well. That's really cool. I don't see this very often. I think this one turned out great. And speaking of reverse, this is 3 different reverse interiors on our Giant of the Fox, and all 3 of these are really special. I think you're gonna love these. This one first is my favorite shell Cordovan color, the amaretto shell, and I kind of like this little close-up that I've been doing. You get to see how smooth, just incredible shell Cordovan is. I just love the orange, sort of light tan shades in the amaretto shell Cordovan. What makes it my favorite shell color. And it's got a really cool color shift to it. So some angles it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more tan. Other angles it gets a little bit more red and brown. And take a look at the inside here. This is one of my favorite reverse interiors that I've seen. I just love these random dye marks that are going the same direction, sort of up and to the right. I just think this is really, really neat how the interior looks here. And this is another special Giant of the Fox. Check this out. We made a batch of these a while ago, but had another person that wanted one. This is cigar shell Cordovan on the exterior. And cigar shell Cordovan is a really rare shell color. It's similar to the color 8, but less burgundy to it. It's got much less red. It's very much more of like a neutral brown, which I really like. But the inside is what makes this extra special. These cigar reverse interiors are basically impossible for me to get. It took me 8 years to be able to get enough leather to make 7 of these. So this is another really special Giant of the Fox going out today. And speaking of special Giant of the Foxes, this is another one we did a small batch of. This is the new Gator Shell Cordovan on the black color from Horween. This is just a texture that's been impressed into the shell. And I think that looks really cool. I think the way that the light bounces off this black leather, and then with the texture on it, it's just like multiple layers of fascination for me. I just like how the light bounces off of this. And take a look at the interiors. So we did 5 of these. They're basically the same. The interiors, we do see a little bit of randomization, but I love the way all 5 of them turned out. These are currently sold out. I can't wait for you guys to see these in person. All right, we're getting a little smaller here. Take a look at this intense blue shell Cordovan Frank the Enforcer. It's got really nice aqua undertones with a navy surface color. On the front of this guy, there are 2 card slots. On the back, we've got that 1 card slot, and then there's a center slot here where you can fit US dollars folded in half. We've got a couple great other colors here to show you. Take a look at this one. And the customer for this guy has been waiting very patiently. This is ultraviolet shell Cordovan on the Frank the Enforcer, and this is one of the nicest pieces of ultraviolet that I've seen. Just take a look at how smooth that is. Bright and shiny. That's everything that you want to see on the shell Cordovan. And on the exterior, this is really cool too. The customer requested reverse ultraviolet on the back, and they wanted some Horween ink stamp as well as the Horween hot stamp. This is a special Frank going out today. And the last one is a epic draw natural shell Cordovan. And this is sort of like the raw shell Cordovan that's been polished. We get a little bit more of this visual texture on the epic draw stuff, and these are random. I can't really make this, or Horween can't actually make this. It kind of looks like tiger stripes, which I think looks really, really cool. And this one has got a contrasting red stitch What a nice Frank the Enforcer this is. I've never seen one just like this. And here's another really special piece. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of leathers that I don't often see. A lot of rare and new stuff coming out of Horween. This is tumbled natural shell Cordovan on a wallet style that I haven't done in a while. We don't offer this on our website, but we can absolutely make it. This is a wallet we were calling Machine Gun Jack, and it's just a snap closure on a little card holder here. So we've got a nice little Horween ink stamp on the inside. Take a look at this tumbled natural shell. I love the random texture in this leather. It's also a really nice light shade. And getting a little smaller, this is our one-shot card case in black reverse shell Cordovan. I'm trying to make a batch of these to go out tomorrow in different random colors. So look forward to that in the evening, afternoon tomorrow. We're still making them right now, and I'm picking out things that excite me, and my team is picking out things that excite them, and we're gonna make just a small batch of 5, maybe, of a bunch of different colors. So you can look forward to seeing these tomorrow. I'll send out an announcement email. And this is not a wallet, but this is the English Tan Dublin Horween leather belt. And we're gonna start seeing more of these belts come out soon because I've been getting more leather from Horween. It's taken a while because of the coronavirus to actually have the leather be made. And we're starting to see some stuff come through. I really like the English Tan Dublin on the belt. I actually wear one of these. I think it's really, really comfortable. Now, one more thing I want to point out about the belts that I don't often point out is I really like the little stamp that we've included in here. We had a custom emblem made for us for all the sizing. And I wanted to show you some of these key cases. And let's take a look at the different colors, because a lot of people ask me, what are the different shell colors and how do you compare them? So on the bottom here, we have a black reverse, and that's that greenish shade. We get to see a bit of dye marks, or Horween ink stamp. This one, that's more of a reddish tan. This is in the color range that we see on the Color 8 reverse. And the lighter one here, this is the natural reverse, which is about as light of a reverse shell that we see. And then getting a little darker here, this is the natural shell Cordovan. And these are all vault key holders, by the way. That little snap to keep everything closed. And then we've got the screw post on each side. I like to fit 3 keys on each side. You can see how that fits in here just about perfectly. And getting a little darker, this is whiskey shell Cordovan. When you compare the whiskey to the natural, you can see it's darker, a little bit more golden. It's got a little bit more like yellow tones to it. And here is a natural chrome excel vault key holder. Really nice ivory shade. Here's an amaretto, which is a little bit more orange, a little bit more tan. I'll compare that to the natural here. Here's an English tan. This is a little bit darker, a little bit more wax on this English tan. It's a little bit more brown than some of the other ones that I see. Sometimes it gets a little bit more orange, but this is a naturally finished leather, so the color does range a little bit from this. It's about as dark as it gets, and sometimes it gets a little bit more orangey. Here's a Color 8 marbled shell Cordovan. You can see the range of color in this as well, from that brown to more of like a orangey tan and a red. Here's a fun one. This is ultraviolet shell Cordovan. Really nice, vibrant purple shade with a little bit of magenta undertones to it. And here's a garnet shell Cordovan. This is the most red color that Horween makes. Sometimes people ask me to compare this and the Color 8. So if you look at it at this angle right here, it kind of looks like Color 8. When you rotate it a little bit, you can see more of those red tones. This is the most red color of shell that you will see. And a little bit darker than that, this is Color 4. You can see there's a little bit less red in here. It reads more of a medium brown compared to the garnet back there. And a little bit darker yet, this is the Color 8. So you can see it's got more of like a purple tone to it, like a dark brown burgundy shade. This is the classic shell Cordovan color. And here we go, black marbled. So the black marbled's really cool. It sort of ranges from a green to an orangey tan. It's all random. Each of the marbled shells are totally unique. And let's get a couple more here. This is intense blue shell Cordovan. Some angles it's a little darker. It can read as a black if you have nothing black to compare it to, like this table. And then certain angles, more of those aqua tones pop out. And here's a dark green, which is also very nice. I don't see a lot of dark green. We saw a wallet today, but it's cool to see any dark green shell. And here is some black shell. And last up, this is a black Dublin. You can see the Dublin is like a little bit more gray. that's because it has a wax finish to it, which makes the leather sort of look a little bit highlighted. You can definitely see the grain character on the Dublin on the left here. Look at all that really fine grain. All right, the surprise that I'm saving. Here we go. This is a really special wallet. This is a Johnny the Fox made out of 1940s calf. And I don't think we've ever done this before, where we have the 1940s calf on the outside, which is just beautiful. Really nice golden blonde color, a subtle luster, a little bit of natural grain character in there. And then the outside, or excuse me, on the inside, this is what we've never done before, is the calfskin on the interior of the fox. And I think that turned out really well. This has got a really clean look to it. So this one's actually available. I had not sold this. I just thought it was something fun that I wanted to see. So if you're interested in this one, you can have it. So definitely let me know. As you can hear in the background, I got some more wallets to make. So look forward to all of you getting your items here. Frank the Enforcers, Bugs. I might have to call this one my stunner. The 1940s calf is kind of crazy to think of an 80-year-old piece of leather in my hand. So thanks again for checking out the video. I'll see you again next time.